This is me in 2022, and this is me in early 2024. Leaner, more muscular, all in under 15 minutes a day, and very easy to maintain. So today I want to show you everything I do and how you can too. Starting with my 4-day workout split, done every day, which can be altered to suit your needs and skill level, with day 1 working the chest and mid-back, day 2 biceps and shoulders, day 3 triceps and hamstrings, and day 4 quads, calves and lats. But there are 3 crucial things I do for every exercise because with minimalist training, every rep counts. First, I'll do a warm-up set for 1 to 2 reps, followed by a single working set done to failure. And then without resting, I'll do a combination of myo reps and drop sets. I'll talk more about this later and how this can help you maximize results despite a shorter workout time. So on day 1, we're doing incline bench to work the chest, which according to science works all 3 parts of the pec, upper, middle and lower, for a fuller looking chest. A common mistake is to drop the weight onto your chest and bounce it back up. Instead, for max results, make sure to control the weight down to the top of your chest for a count of 1 to 2 seconds and then force it back up. After a 2 to 3 minute rest, I go straight into chin-ups, working my rhomboids and mid-trap for a thicker and more defined back. A common mistake is to round the back during the movement, which takes the tension off the targeted muscles. Instead, for max results, 1. Do as many as you can with good form, even if it means only going halfway up on the final rep. 2. Pull your shoulder blades down and back to initiate the movement. Pull the bar to the top of your chest, then control yourself down for 1 to 2 seconds until you feel a stretch in your mid-back and repeat. On day 2, we're starting with bicep curls. A common mistake is to swing the weight up using momentum, which takes the tension off the biceps. Instead, focus on contracting and isolating the muscle as much as you can. Next is overhead press, working the shoulders, followed by lateral raises for building a broader physique. A common mistake with overhead press is to only work the top half of the movement, which makes it ineffective. Instead, you want to control the weight all the way down to where your hands are in line with the top of your chest. Really feel your shoulders stretch, and then back up without fully locking out on your elbows and repeat. Day 3, we're starting with skull crush, working the triceps, which really helps to build mass in your arms. Common mistake is to shorten the range of motion. Instead, for maximum results, control the bar down past the top of your head, feel your triceps stretch, and then force the bar up to starting, keeping your upper arm fixed throughout. Next, we're doing Romanian deadlifts, working the hamstrings. Slow but deadly mistake is to round your shoulders and jerk the weight up, using your lower back. Instead, to avoid injury and maximize results, pull your shoulders down and back to ensure flat back, chest up, and come into standing by driving your heels into the ground, and then reverse the movement, running the bar along your thighs, controlling the bar down to your shins, and repeat. Lastly, day 4, we're doing squats to work the quads. Several common and potentially fatal mistakes is bouncing at the bottom, knees caving inwards, too much weight on your toes, and not getting to an optimal depth. Instead, brace your core, control the weight down, pushing your hips back to maintain weight on your heels, keeping your back flat, chest up, slight pause when your legs are parallel to the floor, push your heels into the ground while pushing your knees out, in line with your toes, drive your hips forward and return to standing with a slight bend in your knees, and repeat. It's quite a mouthful and a lot to think about, but it's not an easy exercise, so just practice. Without resting, we're doing barbell calf raise. Then after a 2 to 3 minute rest, we're doing pull-ups working the lats. Again, a common mistake is rounding of the back. For max results, when hanging, engage the lats by pulling your shoulder blades down and back, chest up, pull the bar to the top of your chest, then control yourself down, feeling a stretch in your lats and arms, and repeat. So next, how do you eat to not only feel great, but also fuel your muscles for growth without having to spend hours in the kitchen and in your head? Well, I boiled it down to just 4 simple yet key principles I apply every day that no one really talks about. Starting with protein. Most fit tubers will tell you to eat an insane amount of protein, but for the past 10 years, I've been able to build muscle with as little as 0.8 grams of protein per kilogram of body weight per day, which also happens to be the minimum you need for a healthy, functioning body. So say you're 70 kilos, you'll need at least 56 grams of protein per day, which can be broken up into 2 or 3 meals. But how do you know what goes on your plate and how much? I've been applying this simple rule for the past decade called the thirds rule. 1/3 carbs, 1/3 vegetables, and 1/3 protein. This covers all bases for energy, vitamins and minerals, and protein for building muscle and recovery, keeping in mind the minimum amount of protein you need to aim for based on your weight. But I'm not quite sure what to cook. This often leads to resorting to eating takeout or 2-minute noodles, which then leads to bad health and low energy in the gym. Instead, plan 1 day every week where you shop and cook for at least the next 5 days. Which brings me to the next point about what to cook and eat. Most people trying to lose the gut will naturally eat less and restrict their calories, only to say diet starts Monday. But ironically, there's a way to eat more while still being able to achieve your body goals. This can be achieved by eating mostly whole foods, foods that are lower in calories but higher in nutrition. Foods like fruits, vegetables, legumes, seeds, and grains. Foods that grow in the ground. Take this plant-based lasagna for example versus this meat-based one. Looking at the plant-based one, calories are much lower, there's more fiber and other essential nutrients. Plus it's better for you, the planet, and the animals. So really, forget restrictions. Instead, make simple swaps that actually allow you to eat more while becoming leaner. Worst case, just pivot. Motivation. The thing that everyone wants more of, but simply can't find. The reality is, motivation is temporary. It only comes after you take action and when you see progress in the mirror or in your numbers. And research shows that people who track their progress are more likely to stay consistent in the gym than those who just rock up and lift whatever they feel like. Whether it's lifting one more rep than last time or a slightly heavier weight. Lift, track, improve, fail, learn, and repeat. But don't you need to work out more in order to build more muscle? Not really. There are 5 crucial minimalist training techniques I use that most lifters don't even know about. Number 1, are an absolute game changer because when applying this, every single rep counts. They become highly effective. You know because they feel harder and almost no time is added to your workouts. These are called myo reps. So after your last set of say bicep curls, rest for 4 to 10 seconds and then do as many reps as you can. This is 1 mini set. For best results, repeat for 3 to 5 mini sets. Next is the twin brother of myo reps, which are great for gains because they increase the time under tension, a key muscle building principle, and these are drop sets. Say you've just finished your last set of bicep curls, immediately reduce the weight, then do as many reps as you can until failure. Next is a non-negotiable, and you'll see every pro bodybuilder do this. First, this is what they don't do. They don't stop here. Instead, they keep going until they reach true failure. In other words, they only stop when they can't perform another rep with good form. This challenges your muscles and forces them to grow and adapt. Last but not least is an interesting yet crucial method when adopting minimalist training, and it's called working the negative. So I'm resisting and I get these microscopic tears in my muscle. In response, they repair and build and over time lead to more muscle and strength gains. This is where during the lowering phase of a lift, instead of letting the weight fall, you want to try and control the weight down for at least 1 to 2 seconds. Like lowering the weight in a bicep curl or the bar in a bench press, or your body during a pull-up. So how does this all tie together? First, you've got the program as the base layer. Second, by adding myo reps and drop sets, you're essentially adding layers to the cake. Then by making sure you're working the negative and going to true failure, that's the icing on the cake. By putting all this together, you're essentially creating an aesthetic body that keeps improving without spending hours in the gym. You're also practicing this life-changing habit of making small daily improvements towards achieving a seemingly hard goal. Tiny actions lead to insane results over time. If you want access to my minimalist training programs, upcoming courses, challenges, and exclusive content, join my free Patreon community or upgrade to support me in supporting you. Links below.